The broadcast is live?
Yes, it is live. We have started.
Ooh. Is there anybody on yet?
I don't know. I don't see. I can't tell. That's how, like, it's really hard for me to see that. Is there anybody on here? It doesn't show, like, it says live viewers 0. Let me give them a minute.
Yeah, it just turned 8 o'clock.
It says 3. 3 are watching. What's up, guys? Hello, BS Design. Hello. I'm running a new app by StreamYard, so I'm really new at this. I don't know if I'm doing this right, if you can see it, if you can hear us, but we're trying.
Yeah, just post if you can hear us.
I like your little feathers you got going on. Did you go to the strip club for that?
Well, since you brought that up. In my younger, not so naive days, I had to make money somehow. So.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Papa, how are you? I thought you were investigating tonight. I didn't know you were going to be here. What does that say? Hello, Estatica. How are you? What does he say? Yellow cough?
You're looking really festive tonight too, Kelly, just to let you know.
I know. I actually went to the dollar store to try to get one of those like headbands that did one of those things, and they were all out. And I used this in the video the other day, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to stick with that because that's all I got. But yeah, and I got this at the like Goodwill.
I'll tell you what, I had to when I put this feathered boa on, I had to do it in this room without my cat because she if you haven't heard, Gozer psychotic. She attacked me as soon as I pulled it out, so she went straight to my throat.
Hello, Jenny. How are you? Jenny has been a really good supporter of mine. She's kind of new to our family, but she has been sharing my stuff and sending me lots of love on my YouTube channel. So if y'all haven't subscribed to her, y'all need to do that. She's a really sweet lady and it's got some good footage. So y'all go do that. Hey,
yeah, she sounds pretty awesome.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry. She sounds pretty awesome.
She is pretty awesome. She, and I love the women supporting women in the field. It can get so competitive and kind of nasty, and everyone's like very competitive about their footage and what kinds of things that they catch. And so when you get another woman in there and who's just supportive and just loves the same thing you do, it's really cool. The devil.
We really do need more women in the field. We really do need more women doing this, doing the investigations. I see a lot of women. I don't see a lot of all women teams. I know of a handful on one hand of all women teams, but we really, really, really need more women out there doing this.
I agree. I think women bring something, a lot of, I don't know, spirits may connect to a woman more than they would a man, depending on their backstory. And I think you've got to have that element in there somehow. The devil mask, Estatica, is sitting in my cabinet just looking scary. It's not really doing anything. So far, so good. I need to add more to my collection, that's for sure.
Oh, God, I really need to take y'all to my mask room. You like masks, Kelly? I did not know that.
What's in there?
I've collected masks from different parts of the world, through parts of Polynesia, through the Caribbean, through Haiti, Dominican Republic, parts of South America, some from the Ivory Coast over in Africa, some really neat Benin pieces that are positively ancient, that just scream with weird energy whenever you get too close to them. They're really neat.
How are you traveling around the world and doing all these things? Like, Is this a past life of yours that I didn't know about?
No, it was
Military?
no, I wish. That would have been more honorable than what I actually did. Well, no, when I graduated high school, before I went straight into college, I traveled. Oh, by the way, everybody who doesn't know me out there who's tuned in, I can't see any comments or anything, but my name is Mike the Naked Bigfoot, the one and only, for those who don't know me. But just
He's
part of my
naked
backstory.
under that boa right now. Just
What's
so
that?
you know, he's naked under that boa right now.
You have no idea how naked I am right now. Well, as soon as I graduated high school, I started traveling. I had an amazing mentor in my life who told me to get out of the mountains and get out of the valleys and start traveling and see the world. And that's what I did. I hitchhiked. I did odd jobs. I did all kinds of odd things to travel across the United States, and then traveling outside of the United States. It was a lot easier back in the 80s and 90s to do, well, early 90s and early 80s to do that than it is.
Life got crazy.
But I was able to encounter a lot of. I'm sorry, what was that?
I never knew this about you. That's some cool stuff. We got a question from Estatica, since you cannot read the comment. Says, have you had anything paranormal with your mask collection?
Yes. There's one mask in particular that was made for me by my mentor who passed away, who's the one who encouraged me to travel the world and seek out the strange and unusual in the world. Her name was Jacqueline Wall. She was an amazing spiritual artist. If you've never met one of those before, they're fascinating people. She would channel the life around her and the dead around her through her hands, and she'd create these beautiful masks based on what she felt through her hands. And before she died, she made me one last mask based on what she was looking at in a mirror, which was her own reflection. I can hear her whisper to me when I get close to it. I can hear she had an apple grove outside of her. Well, she had several fruit groves and a couple of nut groves outside of her farm. And I could smell the woods and smell the grove in the fall when you get too close to it. And it's nothing bad. It's just, I do have a mask where there's a lot of bad attached to it, but I keep that high up on the wall and away from the rest of them. But Jackie's mask is nothing but joy and happiness. It's nothing but her love pouring out of it when you get close to it. I think she put the last piece of her life, I think.
How do I meet what do you call them? Spiritual, what'd you say?
Spirit artists.
Spirit artist. How do I find them? Google those?
There's a lot of them. Well, Jackie passed away over a decade ago. She lived a very, very long life and very rich life. She was a world traveler.
For sure.
Well, she's the one that told me don't believe everything I see with my eyes and don't believe everything I hear with my ears. I have to sometimes walk blindly out there to know the truth.
Smart lady.
Oh, she was brilliant.
What students is in here? Oh my goodness. Hi, Nagam. How are you?
But I do have one shark mask, which is it's from the Caribbean. That thing is really, really bad news. I was told that it would give me bad luck every time I touched it. And anybody who touches it, you have a good long stretch, sometimes up to 30 days of nothing but unfortunate things that get one after the other, worse after worse. You bump your knee, you hit your head, you catch your hand in the door. It just gets worse and worse and worse until it just when the next moon comes up, it ends. It ends. But it's a wonderfully cursed mask that I wrapped up in several hefty bags and smuggled back in with me when I shouldn't have.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, Estatica, which says spirit artists are largely found in spiritualist churches, and he wants us to do a video together about mask. So maybe we can do a collab sometime with our mask. Mine doesn't have much to it, so I would be the boring end of the video, but I will contribute any way I can. So yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna look that up for sure. Hi,
spirit artists are amazing people.
Well, I have never. I mean, I guess I don't know I may have heard of them. I just didn't know what they were called or if they were called something different. But I mean,
Different cultures are called different things. They really are. But spirit artists are always, that's something that a label she didn't apply to herself. It just made sense to call her that.
Okay. Good. So what did you do all day, Mike, besides running around?
Well, I
Drinking, by the way.
I spent some time with my kids showing them how to the most boring thing in the world, how to root fig cuttings in the greenhouse. We lead a very busy life here on the farm.
I see that. I'm drinking Merlot. What are you drinking?
Me?
Yeah.
I cannot drink alcohol anymore. So if it's not water or apple juice, I try to avoid it. I know I used to be, for those who don't know, I'm a great moonshiner, and I used to love drinking.
Yeah, so you're kind of weaning yourself off of that, I see. Well, I'm going to have some Merlot. Is anybody drinking anything here? Am I the only one that's partaking? Not sure. We'll see.
Now,
I went to an investigation today, so that video will be posted tomorrow. It was amazing. I ran into, it was a national cemetery with military only buried there, or their families. And it's all decorated with wreaths. And the JROTC from the high school usually decorates that as like their community service and kind of connect with the military. And next to it, there's what they call a hanging judge, Parker, and the gallows where they used to hang all these criminals from the 1800s is still there. And so I took my stuff out there and caught some stuff, and I'm so excited to post that because I've been posting stuff about like true crime and kind of, spooky stories, and I needed to get some more paranormal stuff in there. So I missed my paranormal.
I need to get you out to Virginia and have you come out to one of my favorite spots. It's in a city called Lynchburg, Virginia. There's a place called Old City Cemetery out there. It's got one of the oldest Confederate cemeteries around, and they do a wreath laying there. But before it was a cemetery, they have a pest house. They had their pre-Civil War pest house for people who had smallpox. They brought you there to die, and then they took you out back and buried you.
Yeah,
it's a crazy powerful place. You would have a blast there. You really would.
As soon as I get rich, I'm going to travel to Virginia and all over the world like you did in the 90s. For sure. Hey, Supernatural Cryptid.
Soupy Crip.
Super Crip. Is that what you call her? Is that her nickname? Soupy Crip?
That's when I give nicknames to everybody. You're Kel, that's Super Crip. Okay. Everybody gets a nickname. I can't help it.
You know what's funny is the other teachers at school call me that.
Kel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm weird like that. I can usually pick up on nicknames.
Oh, guys drinking Bud Light. Good job. Captain Morgan and coffee.
Oh God, that sounds so good.
Is it? I've never had either one. Well, I mean, I've had coffee. Why did I say that?
You've never had Captain Morgan?
I've never had. Is that the one where he sits like this? That Captain Morgan? Okay.
Yes.
No, I've never had
no. You did that. That was the best.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh my God.
You don't need wine. You are high on life for sure.
Well, I'll tell you. I'm on a couple of things right now too, but two of them are legal and one of them isn't. But I'm feeling really good right now.
At least you admit it.
I admit it. Everybody who knows me knows I do partake of the smoke. Although the legislation in Virginia is changing, pot is slowly becoming legalized here in Virginia. So
I think there's something that I read not too long ago that said it's supposed to be legal in all of the United States before too long. Like there's a bill right now in the House.
I have no issue with that. I support that completely.
Hey, Ghost Quest, how are you? I
Ghost
think,
Quest.
is he the one that's near 1,000? Is that him? Is he close to 1,000
1,000 what?
subscribers?
Oh, I don't know. Is he?
Is that you, Ghost Quest? I'm gonna look. I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna look him up on
Ghost
YouTube.
Quest is just freaking awesome because he just keeps churning out those awesome books. And there's a really neat website too. Ghost Quest is pretty awesome.
He has books?
Yes, if I'm correct in this, I do believe he has books available through Amazon. I'm not trying to. Well, I'm sounding like a freaking commercial right now, but I'm so not trying to be a
Oh,
commercial.
he's at 827, so he's close. He's like me. We're getting there. We're getting there, Ghost Quest.
You're almost there. I saw that, Kelly. You're almost at 1,000 people.
I am. It's nice. What happens after that?
What's it like to be at 1,000, knowing that 1,000 people are hanging on every word you're saying?
They're not. They subscribe, and I don't. Okay, if I had 1,000 or 900, I think I'm at 912 right now. If I had all those people watching my stuff, I would have 900 something views on my videos, and I have 150, 292. So not everyone's hanging on my every word. That's for sure.
Holy crap! We need to change that for everybody. If you subscribe, you must watch, or I'll come find you.
The naked Bigfoot is after you. You don't want a naked Bigfoot after you. That's a scary sight.
Now, what's everybody doing right now for Christmas? Are they traveling? Are you traveling, Kelly? Or are you staying home for Christmas?
Hell no, I ain't going anywhere. I am staying right here. I'm staying my ass at home. I'm reading. Now, I will tell you, school, like teaching the past month has been so crazy. It has taken everything out of everybody at school. Like the students, the teachers, the principals, everyone is taking meds. It's just to get through it. It's been the craziest month just to get all the kids' grades in and get them passing because a virtual didn't turn their stuff in. And so, yeah. And yeah, so no, I just want to relax. It's been balls to the wall for a month. Can I say that? Balls to the wall?
Well, shit, you sure as hell can say balls to the wall.
Oh, Christine says she's listening to every word. Yes, Ghost Quest. On the same video, hey, Ghost Quest, I need to know, do you make books? Because he just said that you write books. So is that you? Are we talking about the same guy? So I need to know. Did you, Mike, did you see my video on TV last night?
That was so freaking awesome.
You saw it? I didn't really like how close they got to my face. It was like,
oh, they went up your nose.
You don't have to get that close. Scoot back.
But it was still pretty awesome, though. I mean, you were on national freaking TV.
I love the commentary of those people. They were so smart.
Aren't they really cool?
Yeah, and I'm actually like Facebook friends with 3 of them now. Just after that, you know, I'm so hopefully maybe I will get to meet them and we'll be best.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't think of the guy's name, but the guy who does Monsters Among Us, who does a lot of commentary on there, and it's slipping my brain. He gave me the last couple of months. He's been slipping some really good Bigfoot advice to me. And he's been really, really, really awesome. They have some good people there. And he reached out, and I didn't reach out to him. He reached out to me. So he told me what he heard. And he's been pretty darn cool. And he is incredibly smart. And so is I can't talk about him. Bryce is pretty cool too, but you have never seen or know of Bryce, but Bryce is a big Bigfoot guy too. He's pretty awesome. He's been really helpful too.
I will say, I hope this doesn't hurt your feelings because you're, you know, the naked Bigfoot, but I didn't believe in Bigfoot about 5 or 6 years ago, but I'm a believer now. Totally believe it. So,
well, Kelly, there's some scary crap out there in the woods.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of people who say, oh, you probably heard me say this in the past, but there's a lot of people who go, oh no, they're children of the woods. They're here to teach us so much. And oh, they're all about natures and nymphs and fawns. No, every bit of experience I have with the suckers has been nothing but scary crap.
Okay. So have you seen one?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
You want to hear the most recent, or do you want to hear leading
I
in?
want a dramatic one because we got to make this stream dramatic. So give
Well,
me
let me tell you the most dramatic one.
the drama.
I'm not trying to bring everybody down. It's Christmas. This is our Christmas show. We're all supposed to tell stories and be happy on the Christmas show.
Yes.
But I've had some medical issues recently that's put me in a state to where I'm not going to be amongst us on for very long. Let's just put it that way.
No.
So oh no, it's all good. It's a kidney liver thing. It's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good with it. But beside that, I've been trying to we've had a lot of bizarre Bigfoot activity here on the farm. It's just creeping up on the property.
Do you have it on camera? Do you have footprints? Like, do you have pictures? What you got?
Actually, we've got a number recently of places where they've been digging at around some of the security lights that we have outside. It's not a bear. I assure you, it's not a bear. And we have and I've got about 12. Yeah, there's 12 of them out there. There's 12 cameras out there we have.
Mm-hmm.
The damn things avoid them. They know they're there. You'll catch a shadow right at the edge of the peripheral of the lens.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see something. It's just a quick shadow that goes by or a shadow that pauses. And you know it's looking at the camera.
You go out later and catch footprints and stuff?
Very little footprints. We found places where they've walked through the cornfields and walked through the wheat fields and been through the orchards where limbs and brush is being pushed down by force with footprints on it.
Mm-hmm.
But we've never seen a solid, the classic plaster cast Bigfoot
Mm-hmm.
print. We've seen where it looks like there's heel prints
Mm-hmm.
and some pad prints, but never a complete footprint. They're smart. They're scary, smart.
Paranormal Circle is here, so he told everyone hello. So say hello.
Hello, Paranormal Circle.
Good buddy of yours.
I have no idea who they are, but they sound pretty cool.
They all sound cool.
I hope to be friends with all these people.
Yeah. All of them.
Well, I do a lot of dream walking. Okay. I don't know how much research you've done on that, or
my daughter does all the time.
See, but I have to. The altered state I enter into is chemically induced. It's natural herbs and spices that go into the mix that I drink. And then I push myself out of my body. Well, I recently, because I was too scared to do this, I recently wanted to see if, the guy from Monsters Among Us told me it was a good idea to try this. He believes that they're more paranormal than they are physical in a lot of ways.
Yeah, they said that on Paranormal Caught on Camera. There was one video this season, but it's been a couple of episodes back, that they think they're interdimensional. And the reason why we haven't been able to catch them so much is because they can kind of come in this dimension and leave and then come back when they feel safe, or when they feel like, okay, there's someone around, they can leave this dimension, like a portal type thing. I don't know how much I believe that, but it kind of makes sense with, we catch them, but then we can't catch them. Like they can kind of come and go through dimensions. And I mean, I'm open to that idea. I mean, obviously I don't have proof of that, but that's an interesting theory.
I don't know if you can, I don't consider the spiritual world another dimension, but I think they walk between the two. They walk between the spiritual and the physical worlds. because when I did my dream walk, I went out to get answers. I wanted to see if I could find them and get answers from them out here in the woods. And this is when things got weird.
Mm.
I had pushed myself out, and I was looking over the bed where I was laying in, where I went into my altered state, and I could see my body. And then my room fell away, and I was in the woods by myself. And it was a very foggy day, apparently, in my woods. But I saw four shadows, four silhouettes. Just, you could barely make them out in the woods. And I got the impression they were expecting me. I truly do. So I went immediately into my spiel, which I did. The reason why I did this in the first place is to tell them, if I've offended you in any way, I apologize. Will you accept my apology? Will there be peace between myself and them? Because I think I've done something to piss these things off in my woods, because they've been scary and destructive, and the activity has been really been getting picked up recently, and picking up more and more and more recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I could sense that they were looking at each other. And then they looked back at me. I could feel it. I couldn't see them. I couldn't make them
Most
out.
recent one you were talking about? Like, when did this happen?
This was actually 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
This was 3 weeks ago, because my body right now, my kidneys and my liver, they can't deal with me taking any more of the dreamer, the concoction that I mix up and go into an altered state with. That was the last time I would probably am able to do that and not be dead from taking it. And so it puts a really bad stress on what's left of my internal organs really badly.
Then crazy fool.
Well, no, it's all good. I've done stranger things. Trust me. Don't get me started about Georgia and the rattlesnakes. That's
another live. That's coming next. We'll do another live for that story for sure.
And I got the impression they were telling me that we were expecting you.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me this is not yours. And each one of them said that to me. They said it without saying it. They said, this is not yours. This is not yours. And I think they were referring to the land.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, I said, I just kept telling them, I want peace. I want peace. And they kept repeating, this is not yours. And then finally it just stopped completely. And 3 of the 4 silhouettes just disappeared back into the mist. So I know it was getting time for me to wake up. But the one that remained said, we'll be there. And recently, when I was outside with my kid, with my son, we were getting ready to go out right before the big snowstorm around here. When I was sitting out there alone in the truck, when he went back up into the house, it was early in the morning. I had the lights on. I saw right at the edge of the lights 4 figures walk into the light, barely register into the light. And they were walking around, and it felt like they were felt in here again.
Mm-hmm.
And they were telling me, we told you we'd be here. We told you we'd be here.
How long do you think this lasted? Like, give me a time frame. Like, was this 15 minutes? Was this like 10 minutes? What?
Well, the dream walking always feels like it takes, like you're in it for hours.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, I was in it for maybe 30, 40 minutes. But it felt like a half a day had gone by when I was in there trying to talk to them. And I'll tell you what, I've never been more scared and afraid walking.
I would deal with my ghost over that any day for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, my Makamba, my old teacher, he's somebody else. He told me when you start walking with the dead and walking with the dead, not in the living world, but in the spiritual world, eventually they're going to walk out with you. And I think that I made a mistake when I went to look for them, when I went to look for these things out in the woods. I think I made a huge mistake.
Yeah, let's stop for a minute until you're better. That's for sure.
Well, no, they know. They I feel they know that I'm a little bit more spiritually aware than they
Yeah.
thought. And these
Your
things are
mic is doing something kind of crazy. I don't know. It's changed. I don't know if it's something has happened to your mic. No. It
well,
sounds,
I've
it's like
never
a,
had demonic experience. I've never felt anything demonic. I felt some evil. I felt evil. I felt menace. I felt rage. Um, but I've never felt anything demonic
well, that's
ever.
good. Good.
And I've seen some bad people do some bad things, but I never felt demonic. Never felt demonic. How about
So
yourself? Have you dealt with
I,
anything demonic?
me, I've seen a shadow figure. The video that I did where I did a Ouija board session in a Civil War cemetery, I caught a shadow figure slowly going right in front of the camera. And it had this growl noise and it was caught. And of course, I didn't see it. It was only until after I saw the footage later that I went to review the footage, I saw it. But it was weird. The camera was on a tripod over, well, you can't see my hand over here. And me and the two boys were over here. And, we were asking it questions. And I remember turning and looking at the camera like I was a zombie. It was really weird. It was just this strange stare. I don't know what I heard, but I just looked at the camera and I just stayed there for 5 seconds. And I turned back and looked around when I went home to review the footage. I saw that shadow. And right after that, I turned and looked at it. And I thought, why did I look? And their black shadow went by. And I thought, holy cow, I sensed that. I felt it or I heard something. It was so simultaneous. And I'd never seen anything like that on camera. It was super scary. But other than that, I haven't felt anything demonic. I will say it took me about a week to recover from that investigation. After I posted that video, or after I did that, and I posted the video a couple of days later, I literally could not do YouTube or any video. I was basically in bed after work every night for about a week. Normally I come home and I cook and it drained me. So whatever that was sucked the life out of me. And it was kind of scary.
You had paranormal PTSD.
It was. And it was like, I shouldn't have been doing that. But yeah,
Well,
I
I've
don't
said
know.
that 1,000 times. I've said I should have done that. I shouldn't have done that, but
I shouldn't have done
what can you do?
that.
You've already done it.
Yeah. And I don't, to be honest, I'm going to admit this now, but I didn't close the session correctly. And apparently you're supposed to close the Ouija board session a certain way. I did not. And I was like, okay, well, let's move on. And I just shut it. And then I learned later that you're supposed to close it a certain way. And I don't really, if anybody in the comments, anybody's watching here, can you please tell me how to shut it correctly? But I did not shut it. I just put it in the box. And I think there's a certain way you're supposed to close it out. And I think that might have been my problem. I didn't
Well,
shut it.
what's really cool about because I'm of the voodoo faith, and
Mhm.
one of the coolest things about contacting a Loa, an Ua, or any member of any member of the Loa, any member of the lower divinities or in the spiritual world is that it's easy to dispel them if you call them up right.
Okay.
And it's usually you just take your hand and you motion it through the veve and you break the veve and it breaks the connection between you and them. Now, if you're being written by one of them, if you invite one in to ride you, to enter your body, to give you information, to talk with you, and to talk to other people and to communicate using your voice, usually whoever's with you helping you conduct that ceremony usually has to help you snap out of that and get them out of you, because you can't do it by yourself once you go in too deep. And you do have bad nightmares afterwards. because they crave experience, and if you don't give them enough experience, you are punished with really bad nightmares.
You know, I started a dream journal. I don't know if anybody has done that. I started a dream journal where I would write down my dreams after I woke up. And I didn't do it. I haven't been consistent with it. I need to get back to doing it. But I haven't recorded any bad dreams that I know of recently. Does anybody in the comments, is anybody watching that has a dream journal? Papa Joe is wanting me to delete this comment and it's not going away. I don't know how to do it.
Does anybody do a strange creepy?
Sorry. Oh, that one hurt. I can't.
Papa, are you okay, Kelly?
Yeah, that one. Sorry, I gotta get myself together.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to call 911 and figure out where you are.
Like honestly, I knew it was coming and I knew it was gonna be strong. Oh. Christine,
I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah, I need to get back to doing a dream journal. I heard it's super good because you know how many times we wake up and we forget our dreams within like 15 minutes? You should have that like on the side of your bed as soon as you wake up, write it down. And that way you can kind of connect the dots just in case your brain, gets rid of it. You have that. So always.
I used to use a cassette recorder to do that as soon as I'd wake up.
Really?
If it wasn't a dream or something weird that happened, I used to record it. So I would go back and transcribe it into my physical journal because I've been keeping a journal for almost over 30 years.
Mm-hmm. You know, that reminds me of like doctors. I used to go to physical therapy and after every session, instead of like typing in his notes or have his nurse do it, he would like record his notes on a voice recorder and then go home and type them later.
It helps. It really does help, especially if you're.
He was like too busy to write it down. So he would just talk it into a voice recorder and about his notes or anything that what happened that day or what he wanted to put in the medical file or whatever. And then he would type it later because he was like, I don't have time to do it now. I'll do it later. And I thought that's pretty smart.
So I did that when I did a quick channel. If I want to get some information, I would have the recorder going the entire time. So I could go back and listen to it to see if any of it made sense. And then I'd write it all down if it didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't make me sound like I was babbling like a crazy idiot.
Idea. I hate hearing my voice though. Like on my YouTube videos, I can't stand watching myself on film. I can't stand hearing my voice. So to add another layer of that where I'm hearing I'm hearing my voice again on top of that.
Do you know what broke me of that? When I did theater. When I used to do theater, I used to teach theater. Can you believe that?
No.
I used to teach British and Shakespearean literature.
Were you smoking?
Theater. What's that?
Were you smoking then too?
Oh, when I taught, I had to smoke. I taught public school. It was hell on earth.
Public school. High school, absolutely. I know what you're feeling.
Well, I told you what, the kids had the best shit, so they'd always hook a brother up. So.
Oh, okay.
At least I didn't have to go on the streets to get my pot. I mean, they'd always hook me up good stuff, so I wouldn't have to go on the streets. If I went on the streets, I'd probably be dead by now. But the kids would always hook me up.
Right.
I'm just saying. Believe it, your students know where to get the good shit at.
Right.
You need to ask your kids when you go back to teaching. You go back in the classroom
about weed.
Look at your students and go, I'd like to do a quick impromptu thing. If you had to go buy marijuana, would you know where to go get it? And they would all raise their hands.
Stop.
They would. Kids know.
Okay. Moving on. I'm fired. I'm not doing that. You said we'll talk later.
Sorry, later. Kelly. I've destroyed everything. I am so sorry.
We'll talk later.
I'm just saying the students know where to buy it at now. That was back in my day. I mean, you're a
Yeah.
lot younger than me.
How old are you? I'm actually not. How old are you?
How do I look?
Oh my God, you sound like a woman. That's what women do.
I was taught to be very evasive when it came to age,
Why?
and
I'll
that
tell
runs in
you.
my family.
And I'm a woman.
What's that?
I said, I'll tell you, and I'm a woman.
I'm in my 50s.
Okay, I'm 40. I just turned 40 this summer.
You're a babe. There's nothing wrong. It's
40.
all good. You are, and I don't mean that with disrespect, but everybody I talk to is so much younger than me. I act like a 12-year-old, so most people can't
Okay.
guess how old.
Do you realize, like, I went to like a psychotic mental state knowing that I was just 40. I just turned 40. Like, that was so hard to get over. I don't even know if I'm over it. I don't know if I'm over it, but
When I turned 40, oh Jesus Christ!
Okay.
The things I did do.
40 for men is different than
No,
40.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. 40 for women is like you're dead. 40 for men is like Sean Connery.
No,
I mean-
it's not.
Yes, it is. Y'all look good when you're 40. Women are like, oh my God, we got to do this. Yes.
I went on a week-long binge of debauchery in Athens, Georgia.
On Tuesday. Happy birthday. And Christina's killing it for 56. And Jenny says she just turned 40 this summer. So I knew that's why I loved you, Jenny. I knew it. We're both 40. We got this. We're going to rock the 40s together. We're going to figure this out.
40 is a good number. 40s are good numbers.
Jenny, you know the reason why 40 is a good number for us women? We're in our prime right now. We are in our Jenny, we are in our prime.
When I turned 41, my sperm count went right into the toilet. I'm just saying.
Okay, I don't know. I don't even know. 35.
Sorry, cover your ears, Kelly.
Moving on. Super Crypt is going to be 35. She's gorgeous. She is gorgeous. And Papa Joe, I still can't get rid of this comment. I don't know what you want me to do with it. It's still sitting there. So everyone sees Papa Joe right here.
What's the comment? I can't see the comments. I gotta know.
Elbow cough, which I don't know what that means.
Okay. I will not be accused of being high after hearing a comment like that.
Elbow cough.
I love you, Papa Joe.
63 is the 13.
63.
Statica Witch said he is knocking on 60. But see, that's the thing. The number for men is different than the number for women. Like 60, yes, it is. You shake your head, but a woman, you don't know. Like 60 for women is like, they just don't give us the same props as they give you. 60 for men is like Sean Connery. It's like old wine. It ages well.
No.
And we don't get the same props.
Yeah. Wine turns into vinegar if you let it sit for too long.
That is true. I've actually had wine sitting on my nightstand for a couple of days. I'm like, I'm out of wine. I'm going to try this. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that's what being in your 50s feels like. It feels like the wine on your nightstand.
Yes. Gross wine that turns to vinegar, for sure.
Well, when you hit the 50s and you need to find you a medium and call me up and ask him a few questions, and I'll repeat what I said.
I'm just gonna get Botox. I'm gonna get Botox. I'm gonna lift this because I'm gonna be on camera. I'm gonna be on TV, whatever I'm doing. You know, whether it's Travel Channel or
we get
on TV. So I gotta keep it up and fresh. It's gotta be like this.
You don't do that.
That's what I gotta do.
No, you can't. Do not do that. If you go, you're going to be on TV. You're going to be super freaking famous. I I see this, but there should be no Botox in your future. You have no marks on your face. You're in your what, your 30s now.
I have a ring light right here so that my light looks good. It's all about the lighting.
See, I exist in
All
dark.
about the lighting.
I'm a creature of darkness. We don't do light rooms, so.
Yeah. When you want to look good on camera, you get good lighting.
Yep.
That's it.
That, you know, they used to do the thing.
Caught on camera did not give me good lighting. I was like, oh.
Yeah, they just really do get too close up your face with it. I didn't understand that.
They did, but whatever. They were close up on everyone. So
Well, you were a freaking champ. You did well. You did extremely well. So
you know what my son noticed? We had kind of a pseudo watch party here. He brought his friend Contario, who was in the cemetery Ouija board video, and we were here, and he was like, "Mom, you know what I noticed? You're the only one that was like, man, these ghosts are cool. I'm not scared. It's like it intrigues me." Everyone behind me was like super scared of the ghost and was acting like they were scared. He was like, "Mom, you were." I was like, "That's so sweet." He was proud of me. He was like, "Mom, you were."
Yeah,
You were scared.
And see, that's what I've always respected about you, because you're intrigued by it. You want to go deeper into it when something happens.
I can't get enough. Can't get enough.
You see, you're not afraid of the spiritual world, and trust me, they're not afraid of you. And so you're fearless.
How do you know?
The dead respect a certain sense of fearlessness about the people that they encounter. They respect that a great deal.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm fearless?
They respect a fearless soul, because either it makes them happy knowing they have somebody who will stand there and not turn their back on them or scream and run around like a 2-year-old, screaming their bloody head off, all because they reach out to touch you, and because some of them just want to be known.
Oh,
and
absolutely, 100%.
They want to be seen. They want to be acknowledged that you did see them, and that's what you do. And you keep going back and going back and going back. And they appreciate that, most of them do. 99.9% of them appreciate it.
I totally think they just want their story told. They just want to be heard, they want to be seen. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be validated. They want their feelings. They want their stories validated. Like, we want you to know we're here, and we want to know that we belong and we are appreciated. And I don't understand what's so scary about that. I really don't.
Think about that, Kelly. If they want to be validated, can you imagine being dead and being alone in this void, in this world of shadows, and no one acknowledges you? And it's an eternity of just being there, not being acknowledged, and you see everything passing by you, and no one ever acknowledges you. Can you imagine what that must feel like to them? I mean, it's horrible. So you can imagine why you get really interesting reactions from spirits when you show the least bit of excitement or curiosity about their existence, and you're not afraid of them, and you don't walk away from them.
When I turned the EMF reader on, it didn't start jumping to green to orange and red right away. But I was walking around and just letting them feel my energy, letting them get used to me, just reaching out to them, talking to them, kind of just getting a feel of things. But as soon as I turned this spirit box on about 20 minutes after I got there, and I could start seeing the readings. And literally within 5 seconds, they started talking. It was like, boom. It was like they just wanted to talk. They wanted their story told, and it was constant. I caught such good stuff. I'm so excited to post that tomorrow. I just want to edit it to make the story look good and the story is told, because being a history teacher, I always want to make sure that the historical aspect is told. To me, that makes the whole ghost or the whole thing makes sense.
It does.
It does. And I think a lot of investigators forget that part. There are some who are really, really good about telling the history of the place, about telling the background of it. But a lot of us just want to jump in and just start waving our EMF reader and don't really hear the story behind it. And I think that's important. And they really wanted to talk. So I'm excited. I want to get that done. It's supposed to be a dab. Okay, so Papa Joe says the emoji cough is supposed to be a dab emoji. Okay. Didn't get that. There you go. Okay, and Estatica says the ghosts are drawn, or the dead are drawn to your vibration. This is why children see them more, and it's their energy. So I totally agree with that. I totally agree. They can tell who is open to it, who is not scared of it, who has more of a channel, more of an avenue, I guess, than others who are just blocked off with bricks and it just bounces off and it doesn't get through totally. And I hope, I can't get enough of it. Like, I'm 3 days of telling the coolest gifts for 2020 and a true crime case. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like true crime, but my true passion is paranormal. And when I don't do one, I'm getting to the point where if I don't do an investigation a week, I'm starting to have withdrawals. Like, I need one a week. I need to go somewhere.
It's paranormal meth.
Yes.
It's supernatural crack. You can't get enough of it.
It is.
Just keeping the drug metaphor going.
Yes. So yeah, thank you. Estatica Witch says he enjoys my historical analysis and with all my videos. And the one thing that I make sure that I try to do correctly is to get the history right. Because if I get the history wrong and if I don't do my research, being a history teacher, do you know how bad that's going to look? So I always make sure I do history and do these people justice and tell their story.
Well,
and kind of
putting it all in context. You're putting the context in with it, which a lot of people don't do. Mm-hmm. They go in for the jump scare and random word and they get all excited and hop around like a bunch of hop frogs. They don't understand. They don't understand. Or they don't want to understand.
Or they don't appreciate the history behind it, or they don't understand how to tell a whole story. Like, they don't know how to open it up, tell a story, get the evidence, and then close it with the story. And I think that's super important. And I hate relating this to sex. I really do. But this is really something that just literally popped in my head.
Please.
But like when you go in straight for the kill and there's no foreplay to it, you got to ease into it and you got to tell the story before you get to the nitty gritty. Got to close it out. I'm telling you, you got to.
Big old slap and tickle.
You got to. So
I understand.
Kill. Don't just go straight in for it. You got to open it up, tell the story, and then close it out. On that, have a good night. In an hour, Mike. I love this. It was fun. Can you? We've been talking for an hour.
Oh my God! Really?
Yes.
We've been doing good. Well, I want to stop really quick and say thank you, Kelly. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for hosting this, number one. Mm-hmm. And I want to wish everybody out there who's still there Merry Christmas. And everybody who's not subscribing to Kelly needs to subscribe to Kelly. If you're not following either one of us on Twitter, you need to get your ass on Twitter and follow both of us.
Where you been? Do it.
Because trust me, if you like the commentary I'm giving tonight, it gets a lot worse on Twitter and it gets a lot more funnier sometimes. So
thank you, Mike. This was Mike's idea, and I kind of just hijacked him and said, "Hey, can I host it? That's a great idea. Can I do it?" And he's like,
I was happy to do it because I'm a fan of yours, Kelly. I'm a huge fan of yours.
You're so funny. And everyone has been talking about your little reface. Is that what you call it? Your refaces that you do? You're hilarious.
Yeah, my reface. I'm famous for my refaces. I've actually had some very interesting people contact me about that and ask how I do it. I said, "Have you noticed a little reface app icon in the corner? That's how I do it." So
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I love you, Christine, Super Crypt, Sly, Jenny. Who else am I missing? Papa Joe, Ecstatica. Y'all are thebomb.com. Love you. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, guys. Have a great night.
Don't forget to check out my video tomorrow, and I will see you on Twitter. I'll be there.
Thanks again, Kelly.
Bye.